Oh, what up guys, it's your boy Vin Hans with another video, and today we're going to be doing a kind of like a Khan Academy course. I'm going to be your Kumon teacher pretty much, and we're going to be teaching you guys, let me write it out for you, how to Mog Lesson Uno, which is the first part of how to Mog. It's always the physique. And if anyone tries to finesse me and tries to tell me that it's the face, how are you gonna look good if you are chubs as heck? How are you gonna look good if you got that roll? You can't look good facially, in my opinion. Like, your opinions could be different from mine. If you don't get lean enough to like 12%, that's when the peak, you could see all the lines, you could see your eyebrows, you could see the true nature of your face is by getting lean. So that's step one to how to Mog. So I'm going to be teaching you guys step by step how to get the dream physique. And let's start off right now. Okay, so by the way, credentials is this. Look at that. Bang, bang. Bang. Okay, anyways. First thing you want to ask yourself is, do you look like this? Buddha Buddha bang? Huh? Or do you look like... Okay, that's kind of a L drawing. But do you look like... Or do you look like this? Chubsters here. There's nothing wrong with looking like this. Like this. That's not what I'm telling you. But if you do come across El Video, then you want to look like El this. So let's put you want to look like El this. Well then, this might be the video for you, and I may be able to help you. So step one, before we get into the main nitty gritty of the video. And by the way, it's pretty late right now. That's why we are filming this. We're filming this at 2:30 a.m. Anyways, yeah, I'm playing with the soundboard, but I just don't know which buttons are the sounds yet. I'll figure it out once we wrap up this video. Anyways, so step one, this is to see if the video is meant for you. Like, really, is it meant for you? So step one, what are your goals? So we have to figure out what are your goals. So in terms of goals, I mean, what are your fitness goals? So there are like 5 categories I like to put like people in the terms of goals. So number 1 is cardio bunny. That means you love to do cardio. You don't really care about your look. You just like to improve your endurance, your cardiovascular health, being able to run longer distances, blah blah blah, yappa yappa do. You like to do some marathons, which is cool and all. I respect y'all, but this may not be the video for you. I may have another video for you, which will be the how to increase endurance, which I will make a video on because I am training for a marathon. Now we have the triathlete for the next one. Triathlete. By the way, so yeah, cardio bunny, not the video for you. Triathlete. I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. I'm trying to be transparent. Triathlete might not be the video for you too. If you're thinking of improving, your swim time, your run time, bicycle time, this might not be the video for you, because this is all purely based on visual presence, visual looks, almost, I would say, and just overall how you are perceived in the world, if that makes sense. And there is a kind of redeeming factor about being a triathlete. People do respect you, but I'm talking about, again, from an outside perspective. They don't know anything about you. All they see is how you look. And this is that type of video. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, triathlete, it's not perfect for looking like Chad here, because, swimming, there's a lot of mouth breathing. All they do is mouth breathing when they come out the water. And it's very heavy on the joints, the knees, whatever. And it's a lot of cardio. So a lot of cortisol. So that's not dope. So triathlete, not the video for you. Now, being strong only. So strong only. this may not be the video for you if you want to become a power lifter. I do powerlifting, and yeah, if you want to maximize your strength, you have to. There's some people that could kind of finesse, but most of the time you gotta get that gut. You know, get the gut, and we don't want that gut. That's the thing. Now, this is like what people like to think means aesthetic, but I'm telling you, it's completely wrong. Their definition is cooked. Ripped. Now, ripped people, is this for your video? Maybe. If you want to get ripped, maybe. That is kind of your video, but what you really want is to be strong plus ripped. And this is the true definition of aesthetic. So if anyone tells you, oh, I look aesthetic or whatever, and they're just lean as hell, well, tell them Vin Hans said that their definition is wrong, because aesthetic means strong plus ripped, even though you can't read that. Plus ripped. Now, number 5 is the dream, you know, but it's hard to balance both. But I'm going to teach you guys how to balance both. And so first of all, what is aesthetic? Well, like, we know that it means strong plus ripped, but it technically implicits, or technically saying that it's looking good regardless, shirtless or with a shirt. Don't matter. You just look good. You have enough muscle to look, you know, kind of like, you know, jacked, but you also lean, so you look good without that shirt. You see all the lines, you see the deltoids, you see everything, right? And people are like, oh, if you're aesthetic, how can you be strong? How can you be strong? Well, I'm telling you, aesthetic is having a certain amount of muscle while being lean. And so basic 101 and Bitcoin lesson, the enhanced lesson is that muscle making. So if you make a certain amount of muscle, therefore you can produce more force, because you have more muscle to work with to move any type of thing, which technically equals to increase strong. So increase strength, whatever. So pretty much I'm telling you that aesthetics will give you strength and looks, but maybe not as much strength as el power lifter, as serious power lifter. So a serious power lifter is a big ass dude, like a strong man, but he got like a little bit of a gut. Like, you won't be as strong as bro, but you don't need to be that strong for like visual, Mog, if that makes sense. You have to be strong to a certain point, and then honestly, strength does not really matter in any type of social setting. You're never gonna be walking up to anyone or going around. Like, no one's gonna ask you really, hey yo man, I really want to see you bench. Now we got that out of the way. A question that I get often is, what split should I do? And this brings up to step 2 of the lesson, which is, what split should I pick to gain all this muscle to become aesthetic? Now okay, well, let me write step 2 first. The nerds will say, like, you know, upper, lower, PPL, Arnold, whatever. Those are some terms you might hear. And I know they sound like foreign terms if you're not into the gym community, but what I'm trying to tell you is that the no cope answer, so no cope enhanced answer, is that none of these splits matter if you're not consistent. So consistency, so let's write it, consistency equals key. So how do I draw a key? Like, equals key. That looks like a key, but like, imagine the key. Consistency is key. So any split chosen, even if it's most optimal to build the most amount of muscle. If you watch Jeff Nippard, you know, you're like, Jeff Nippard told me this, Jeff Nippard told me that. I don't know any other side. TNF told me that. But if you are not consistent, you will not gain as much muscle as a dude who's doing the most trash split ever, but is consistent on a daily basis. He will literally mog you to another universe. So let me give you a visual representation of what I'm talking about. So, dude does TNF workout, JPG, blah blah, PPL, upper lower nerdy stuff, but is not consistent. This is how it will look like. By the way, his starting point is skinny, so he's still skinny. But remember, because he's not consistent. But dude who is, not doing the most optimal, but he enjoys his workout, and he's super consistent on a basis. Bro is gonna be like bang, 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 bang. That's how bro's gonna look like. He's gonna literally smoke that other dude out the water. Technically, what I'm saying is consistency over optimal split. But let's say you do love the optimal split. I recommend you trying that out. And now we're trying to wonder, Vin, I'm a newbie. I don't know any type of split. I'm completely lost. I don't know anything. I don't know what you're talking about. You're just yapping, whatever. So I'm gonna give you the split commandments, the Vin hand splitting commandments, to make your life much simpler. So number one, in short rest period. That's number one on the Vin commandments. So commandments, Vin hands, rest. So you need a rest period, and what I mean by that is that you can't work out every single day and not have one rest period, because your muscles, like, how are you gonna gain muscle without letting your muscles relax and, you know, refurbish? It's all about the process. For example, let's say in school terms for young nerds, student one, he studies endlessly. He's working 24 hours, no break, all nighter. He's overwhelmed, and that equals to having a low percentage of doing well on the exam. He can do well, but it's a lower percentage of doing well on the exam. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Now, student two, he studies, but takes breaks in between rest well. So he goes to the do well, he rests, whatever. But he studies, he's confident, he's ready for the day. And guess what? Bang! Higher percentage of mogging the exam and doing well. So you want to be into the rested, relaxed guy. You don't want to rest too much either, you know? Gotta have a little bit of equal terms. But yeah, you want to have a rest day in between, definitely. So now, number two of the commandments is train every meso group 2 times a week. Like, well, except legs, because honestly, in terms of aesthetics, I'm sorry to say, legs are not important. We can get to a whole discussion after that, but okay, simply put, legs, how often are you wearing shorts? Think about that. If you don't wear shorts that often, who cares about legs? Number two, do you have calves? If you have calves, do not care about legs. They are completely useless. I don't see a purpose, unless you're really unk. You're like in your 40s, you need your legs, you know, just for daily activities or whatever. But if you're a young jit like me, you don't need no legs. You just need that upper body, that strength. And by the way, I'm not talking about the athletes. If you soccer dudes tell me, I need my legs, yes, you do, you need your legs. You're an athlete. But I'm talking about the non-athletes, by the way. So yeah, train every muscle group 2 times a week. That will give enough stimulus for L muscle group, for L muscles to, you know, bang, get bigger. Because you need to, you know, you can't just study one time and do well in an exam, for example. You have to study multiple times so that you could ingest all the information to do well in the exam. So yeah, so step 3 on the Vin Hands commandments is train with intent. Now, what do I mean? Intent equals intensity. Bring in the intensity. You're trying to really destroy your muscle. Now, this is the most important, like, commandment out here. If there's one thing you have to take out of these 3 commandments so far, is that you have to train with intent. So even if step 2 is not possible, train with intent and intensity. Put in your all, because the more you put in, the more you get out of it. Now, number 4, these are the muscle groups I suggest to focus on just for building a aesthetic frame. It's your shoulders, back, arms. Now, a lot of people will say chest will matter, but realistically, you do have to train your chest. However, is it the most important part? Definitely not. It's definitely not the most important part, because when you're wearing a shirt, what shows the most is your frame. So your back, your shoulders, your arms, right? So you can see when you have a shirt, you see the bicep, etc. Do you really see the chest? You do, but it's not that much of a big contributor, if you know what I mean. So if you're super logical and you're like, oh, I don't understand, blah, 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 the commandments are complex, I'll give you a simple general split to follow. So general split. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be a push-pull legs, pretty much a push, pull, legs, relax, push, pull, and 7, you can relax again, I guess. Anyway, so push is, you know, chest. So anything you push. So chest, shoulders, tricep, whatever. Pull is, you know, back. You're pulling when you do biceps, stuff like that. Legs, you know, it's your legs, your hamstrings, your quads, your abductors, etc. Relax. You just take a nap. I don't know. You can do some cardio too if you want, but yeah, just focus on this. I don't even do a split. I low-key do like the worst split ever. Do not follow my split. If you want me to go more in depth about my split, I can. But I definitely do not recommend for the average user. But this will definitely get you big, because it's a very simple general split that most people would agree on. So it's a good reference point. Now, step 3 on this how to mog physique, which is, let me write it out. Wait. So okay, I got this muscle. I'm jacked. I'm mogging. You know, I got that. Okay, you're mogging, right? You got the boom, 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 boom. You got the muscles, right? Now, how do I get lean? How do I get shredded? Because I got one part of being aesthetic, which is getting muscle, so equals kind of getting strong. How do I get lean? Which is synonyms for how do I get ripped? So how do I get that 6-pack, pretty much, to, like, you know, the chud that doesn't understand what I'm saying. So there's 2 things you need to manipulate, and when I mean manipulate, I don't mean like, I don't know, finesse. Like, manipulation kind of has like a bad connotation. But I'm trying to tell you that it's not a bad connotation in this context. Because what I'm trying to tell you is you have to manipulate 2 things, which is el nutrición and el cardio. Now, what you need to know about these 2 manipulations is that nutrition mogs cardio. I know it sucks. I know it really sucks. But because cardio, okay, this is the reason. Cardio, you need to do a lot of cardio to burn the fat. So let's say this is fat. You need to do a lot of cardio to burn all that. You need to do a lot of it. But nutrition, let's say, if you eat well, it's easier to fight that fat and burn it quicker. So if you want the best results, which will make you, like, you know, lean as quick as possible, it's actually to do nutrition plus cardio. So a good nutrition plus cardio equals best result. If I had one so pretty much what I'm saying, if I had one, if you were like, I don't feel like manipulating both, I'm too lazy, then I would tell you to focus on only one, which is nutrition. It's less effort and easier to manipulate, like, to lose daily fat. So yeah. Now, the simple nutrition rules I can give you. Simple nutrition rules, I could go more in depth into nutrition. I took a nutrition class in university. However, I'm just going to give you the simple gist of it, because this video is kind of getting long, and I don't really feel like having to edit too much of it. So, simple nutrition hack is 1 gram per protein. So protein, because remember, protein is what builds el muscle. Bang, bang, bang. You need a lot of protein per pound of body weight. So let's say you're 150 pounds, then you would want 150 grams of protein per day, right? And this will give you enough protein to gain that muscle. Yeah, so try to get around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight you weigh. If you don't reach it, every single day. If you miss one day, it's okay. It's not that deep. Remember, gaining muscle is never that deep. Do not make this like this. This shouldn't control your life. You're supposed to be the one controlling your own life, your own destiny, whatever. But you should be somewhat consistent. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. And you want to be at a 200 to 500 calorie deficit. So 200 to 500 calorie deficit. So minus 200 calories. Okay. Now how do I like know how much is 200 to 500 calorie deficit? Like how do I know my starting point where like what's my maintenance calories pretty much? So like what is the amount of calories to take that will not make me gain fat or lose fat, so then I can take out that deficit. You know what I mean? If you want to figure that out, you can just search up maintenance calorie calculator, put in your data, it does it for you, and then you take out 500 calories off that or 200 calories. By the way, simple rule: the more calories you lose deficit in terms of nutrition or whatever, the more easier, like faster you will lose fat. But I'm not saying to go too low because you will lose as muscle. So 500 calories is kind of like the sweet spot in my opinion. So you want to go 500 calories under your maintenance, let's say, ideally, example. And let's say you estimate it with the calculator app thingy that I just told you, and you're not losing weight. That means the calculator app is not 100% correct. Okay, they don't know who you are realistically. They're just guessing. They're estimating. Okay, you're not losing weight. That means you're either not eating, you're not counting your calories properly. Okay, you're underestimating, or the calculator's wrong. So just like lower your calories more. It's all about experiment. Don't be discouraged. You don't see that weight going down. It's not that deep. Again, it's all about the process. The process is the most important part. Okay, so now lastly, simple cardio rule to lose fat. It's very simple. It's 8K to 10K steps a day. Now, if you're like, hey Van, I like to work. I don't have enough time to do 10K steps per day. That's okay. I want you to average 10K steps. Oh, oops. Okay, we kind of but 10K steps like per day along a week. So what I mean by that is, let's say you couldn't walk 10K steps one day. You got 8K steps, or like let's say you got 7K steps on one day. So then the next day you're gonna have to do like 12K steps to equalize it or something, so that throughout the week it says that you did 10K kind of per day. You know, maths, you already know. Now, how do I? Hey Vin, I don't know how to know if I do 10K steps. I'm not gonna count each step individually. Well, that's like probably the dumbest thing you could ask. I'm not gonna, but I appreciate the question. Now, how do you figure out your steps per day? It's really easy. You have a thing called iPhone. Okay, I don't know how iPhones look like anymore, but you have iPhone. You want the iPhone? You go on this thing called the Health app. It looks like this. You click it, and it'll tell you how many steps you do per day. And this is assuming that you have the phone on your pocket and stuff. But like, if you don't have your phone ever in your pocket, then what do you like? Are you actually using your phone? But I know 100%, like 99% of you guys have your phone in your pockets always. So this is the best way to figure out your steps. Or you can do it the expensive way, get an Apple Watch, get a Garmin, whatever. Those are great options too. But you have to, like, when you buy items for the sole purpose kind of fitness, that means you better use it. You can't flake on me. Anyways, guys, that's the first lesson of the Vinhance program. How to Mog. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. I don't know if this is gonna get any views, but it was a great video. I think this is long overdue that we do a teaching lesson. So yeah, peace out. Bang, 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 bang.